Are these mics all ready to go? I just want to welcome everybody. My name is Tim Phelan. I'm the president of the Connecticut Retail Merchants Association. CRMA is a statewide trade association that represents retailers all throughout Connecticut. And we're really proud to be here today at one of our member stores, actually a board member of ours, to help kick off next week's Sales Tax-Free Week. Sales Tax-Free Week is a great boon to Connecticut retailers. Consumers and families can see real savings during the week. And we want to thank Governor Lamont for his continuous support of that program. We want to thank legislative leaders on both sides of the aisle for their continued support of this important sales tax break that consumers are going to get. I'm going to turn this over now to the Mayor of West Hartford, Mayor Cantor. She's going to say a few words. Then Steph from Fleet Feet will say a few words, and then Governor Lamont will say a few words, and then I think we'll all be happy to answer any questions you might have. So.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for being here, and thank you all for all you do for businesses throughout Connecticut, because they are the backbone of our state, and we are so appreciative of your work. And I'm so glad to have the governor here highlighting how important this is to make sure that our residents know about Tax-Free Week and make sure that we are supporting our stellar businesses that are right here. We're so happy that you chose this place to be. Fleet Feet is a regional draw. It's a very not only is it a retailer, but it's also a lifestyle store. They encourage people to get healthy, to run. I was just talking to Steph, who's going to speak to you in a minute, about their preparation for the marathon, the Hartford Marathon, which is also a big draw throughout our region and helps businesses throughout our state. But I'm so pleased to have this. Our West Hartford is filled with wonderful, wonderful retailers that you can benefit from this tax-free week, and we look forward to having you come and visit and get ready for school and do whatever you need to do to get ready for the next season and be healthy and well by buying a pair of sneakers. But I'm going to introduce you to one of our treasured business owners, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Tim. Didn't know I was going to have to speak. I thought I just had to provide the location. So here at Fleet Feet, we like to say that we're a starting line. We're a starting line for runners. We're a starting line for anyone that wants to get fit and healthy. And we're a starting line because we sell great products. And this coming sales tax-free week that begins on Sunday starts what we like to say our Christmas season, our holiday season. We will do more sales in the next week than we will for the entire month of December. So this week is one that we really look forward to. It's the perfect combination of kids going back to school, so they need new shoes for that, the start of cross-country and sports, but it's also the height of marathon training season. The Hartford Marathon is October 8th, and we've got over 100 folks training for the full and the half marathon. So it's time for them to get new shoes to get them through their training. We also have great apparel, and all apparel under $100 is tax-free. And sometimes you think like a 6% tax break isn't that big of a deal, but it is. It's a stimulus to get people to come into the store and shop, maybe spend a little bit more money with prices increasing with inflation this year and supply chain issues. That 6% makes a big difference, and so we will see our heaviest stream of customers come through the door getting new shoes. We are fully stocked for once. For the first time since the pandemic started, our stocks are back to normal, which is really exciting. So we look forward to seeing everyone come out. We like to say run local, shop local, and we hope to see you all soon.
Thank you, Stephanie, and really, we are so appreciative for all she does, and I actually bought shoes here, and it's kept me running. We have our state rep, Kate Farrar, with us today to say a few words.
And speaking to that, I have my own Fleet Feet shoes at home too. So we all are proud of making sure that Fleet Feet keeps us running. I'm Kate Farrar. I wonderfully represent Southern West Hartford as a state representative. And I just see this upcoming week really as a win for each of us as runners, as family members, as consumers, but also winners for our small businesses. You heard from Steph that she and all of her staff And this entire business depends on us supporting them locally. And I know for myself and all of us through COVID, we saw firsthand how critical it was for us to shop local. And I think next week just, again, lends itself to being a win for us in ensuring that we have what we need headed into the fall season, but also a win for so many of our small businesses that give back to us locally. So I'm thrilled to be here and to highlight what we can do, again, just to support all of our small businesses next week and stock up for the fall and winter ahead. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Again, just a quick reminder, the sales tax-free week is a bipartisan bill that passed through the legislature, but each year when the legislature adopts a budget, somebody has to sign that budget into law. In this case, it was Governor Lamont, and we're so appreciative of his continued support of the retail industry all throughout COVID. His office was working with us constantly to make sure that our needs were met and that we could continue to operate our business. So we're really appreciative of his continued support, not only of the sales tax-free week, but also of the retail industry in general. So it's really my pleasure now to introduce the governor and ask him to say a few words.
All right, thanks, Jim. Hey, everybody. Yeah, signing this was really easy. And Steph, I think you sort of told me why. First of all, as Steph mentioned, this is Christmas in August. And it represents real savings, especially for mom and dad whose kids are getting ready to get back to school. And, this is on top of the fact that you said you're fully stocked for the first time in many months. Lack of stock was driving up prices, not enough supply. That's getting better. The fact that we're able to save about $10 a week now when we fill up our gas tank. You mentioned that's making a big difference in terms of people coming back to the store. And the sales tax holiday is just saves you 6.35 cents for every, up to $100. So this looked pretty good, Sherry, on you. I'm just saying, not bad. This is $75. You can save you about $5 when you do that. And make sure your kid looks really sharp as they get back to school. And speaking about getting back to school, I was just talking to Mark Boughton, and we're going to start sending out the child rebate checks next week. So that will be about $500 to families that have kids under the age of 18. All ways we doing everything we can to make Connecticut more affordable, make sure that stores like this are prospering, growing, make sure our kids get off to the very best start as school begins the next couple weeks. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks again, Governor.
We'll take on-topic questions and then break for off-topic. How much was saved for consumers in the sales tax-free week in April? Does anybody know?
$3 million.
$3 million. And Tim, what's the average here for this week? I forget. I didn't look it up.
I think, Paul, it does. I don't have the cumulative number. I'd have to find out, but I think it does vary from store to store. Steph would tell you, she said earlier, this is for clothing and footwear, particularly a footwear store like this, is a huge savings in terms of for consumers and a boon to the economy. One of the other things that we don't really, again, get a lot of chance to talk about with the sales tax-free week is there is a dynamic effect if you're a retailer that doesn't sell clothing and footwear, but consumers are coming in and making a savings here. They may go shop someplace else. They may go shop, they might buy a meal at a restaurant. They may go to another store inside a mall to do that shopping. So this is not just, the sales tax-free week hasn't always been just a benefit for clothing and footwear. It does have a dynamic effect that covers all retail.
And how many members do you have, and how many are involved in retailing footwear and clothing?
I don't have the breakdown for clothing and footwear. We represent about 2,000 retailers throughout Connecticut. We represent about 2,000 retailers throughout Connecticut. We also represent the major malls that are located in Connecticut, so all of them will see an uptick in business as well.
Are school supplies included in the tax-free?
John, we don't pay that.
Good morning, everyone. I'm John Biel. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Revenue Services. School supplies are not part of the sales tax-free week.
gonna ask the governor about the sales tax. You have a little ginger ale. Get you. I know. Connecticut's rate is 6.35%. Certainly as a result of inflation, we've seen sales tax and also increase in consumption. Sales tax revenues go up. Have you given any thought to possibly resetting, looking at that sales tax rate in January if you're reelected and you're working on the next 2-year budget?
We can look at that selectively, but what we really wanted to do was make sure there are immediate savings for people now. I thought the sales tax week, 6.35% savings overnight for that week. As Stephanie said, you see a lot of people shopping and taking advantage of that. That's on top of the gas tax. That's on top of the child tax rebate. That's on top of, eliminating the income tax for seniors on pensions and also working families. Those are all ways that I think make a bigger difference in people's day-to-day life.
And what are you hearing about sales tax collections at this point?
Still pretty strong. And I think Stephanie gave you one of the reasons why. People are getting back to the stores, things are well stocked, and this will be a big shot in the arm starting next week.
Could you talk a little bit about, you said you've got your inventory of supplies. I mean, what was going on earlier this year?
Yeah, first I'll start by saying we're actually very thankful that we have a full week for the sales tax holiday. Massachusetts just does a weekend. A lot of states do weekends. That's a lot of people to try to cram into 2 days. By giving us a full 7 days of shopping, that's definitely a big benefit here in Connecticut that we have. Supply chain issues we've been dealing since the pandemic. Two big factors happened. Companies in everywhere between China, Vietnam, India, they all shut down. Some factories were closed for over 3 months. We order all of our shoes a year ahead of time, so when you stop making shoes, you kind of have a 3-month lag. You add to that all the backup in the ports, especially in Long Beach. Things were taking almost 6 to 7 months to get through the ports instead of 6 to 7 weeks. So we had almost I'd say a 6 to 8 month backlog into shoes and products being received into the country. And that really cut down the amount of shoes that we had. During the last year and a half, we really had no shoes that we could put on sale because shoes typically get revised every year, and when the new model comes out, we put the old model on sale. Well, the new models were so far behind, almost a year behind, that the old model we had to keep in circulation, and then even that we ran out of inventory. But it was kind of nice. We have about 10 different shoe brands that we bring in, and when one was kind of depleted, another one would finally get their shipment in. So we were able to have product to sell, just not the variety. And now we're finally seeing all the 2022 shoe arrivals have been finally making their way into the warehouses and into stores. But we're also seeing that the 23 models arriving as well. So right now we do have a great inventory of shoes, and we do have some older shoe models that we're able to put on sale for under $100 to make the tax-free limit. So that will really help with back-to-school shopping with those high school runners that families might not want to spend a lot of money on shoes, but they still need a great pair of shoes. So it's kind of nice to be in this situation again.
Stephanie, what's your last name?
Blozy, B-L-O-Z-Y. I'm the owner of Fleet Feet Hartford.
Does the savings apply for online sales as well?
Yes, yeah. So you can also shop online. Fleetfeet.com is set up so that you can, you'll get your purchases tax-free beginning Sunday through Saturday.
What about raising this from $100 to something else in the future? Is that something that might be on the table? I mean, if it's such a good thing and it's a boom from retail, right?
I think we ought to take a look at that.
We like that idea too, Paul.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
I did not pay him to say that.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Good stuff.